and welcome to a new edition of the Red Mountain Express. Of course, I'm Blake Westbrook, and joining me is Matthew Joyner. Patrick Tucker is not with us this week. He is taking the week off. He think he's got a work thing. He's at, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, plus, he needs a week off. He filled in for me all those weeks. Like, let the man have a break.
Yeah, come on. So,
yeah.
Patrick, I know you're going to be listening to this on the way to work at some point, so we miss you. Let's get into the news, Matthew. Uber Eats is in town.
Uber Eats.
So tell me about Uber Eats. I've never had it.
All right, so you know what Uber is?
Of course.
It's the kind of a crowdsourced car delivery. We'll come pick you up. We'll take you wherever you're going. It's all on an app.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Uber. Everybody loves Uber. Yeah. Uber Eats is an extension of Uber, and they basically do that service for food. So you're sitting at home and you really want some sauce and you really don't want to go out and get it. You get on the Uber food app, Uber Eats app, which is a separate app. You put in your order. They show you how much the order costs. They show you how much they're charging for delivery. And then within a certain time window, I guess based on how far away you are from the restaurant, how far away this Uber driver is, here comes your food.
And I know that I've used Grubhub before, which I have been disappointed with, and maybe it was just the person that was doing the delivery, but we ordered Zoe's, and they didn't go to the Zoe's near my house. They went to one that was completely across town, took over an hour, and it was just bad. But Uber Eats is doing some other restaurants that Grubhub won't do, correct?
So I haven't looked to compare what they're doing, but Uber Eats, of course, this is a small sample of what they're doing, but they have restaurants including Filling Station, Charlie's Philly Steaks, Jackson's Bar and Bistro, Farm Burger, Dream Cakes Bakery, Saw's Barbecue, Rogue Tavern, and Shiki Thai Sushi. Which I've never heard of Shiki Thai Sushi. I'm sure somebody has.
Hey, look, man, if you deliver sushi, it's good.
I can go to Publix and get like the little deli sushi thing and hope that it was made that day. But if I can get Uber to bring me a big tray of sushi and I don't have to leave the house and put on pants, like I'm all for it. Hopefully this will be a better service than like Grubhub. We used Grub South in Huntsville. My wife and I did a pretty good bit, and we were downtown. We were close to a lot of the restaurants, and so it actually worked out pretty well for us. The food usually got to us. It was still hot, and the service fee really wasn't that high. Even if we tipped the driver, I still felt like we came off pretty good for being able to stay at home and have the food delivered to us. There are some other competing services like this in Birmingham that I've had mixed reviews on. But I think Uber Eats has got pretty good reviews from all the locations that it's serviced so far. So
and it's just like Uber, where it's just normal folks just going out and picking up food and taking it to you.
Yeah, it's the shipped, the Uber model, the Lyft. It's a normal person that's signed up and they have the app on their phone. You put your order in, it comes to their phone, and they go get it for you.
So is it live now? It's done now.
It's live. It is live now. Yeah.
So either you can call an Uber and go somewhere to eat, or you can call an Uber and they can bring you food.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's good for lazy guys like me who just want somebody to bring them food.
Hey, look, man, I think that's like high on my list. If you bring me food, I'm a pretty happy guy. So, in the world of sports, Phil Savage, who is the color announcer for Alabama football radio broadcast, has decided that he is resigning his job and he's going to take a job with the Phoenix AAF football team as general manager. And I know Birmingham's getting an AAF football team. It's going to be, next spring that they will be kicking off?
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, if it actually happens. But he's going to be the GM of that one, so he is going to be leaving the broadcast booth this season. He has been in the broadcast booth with Eli Gold since 2009, and now they're looking for a new color commentator. So we'll see how that works out, but we wish him the best. He was head of the Senior Bowl up until this year. He has been general manager of an NFL football team, the Browns, as well as director of player personnel for a couple teams. So I think he'll work out well, and that's a big get for the AAF to try to get. They're getting legitimate folks for these.
Who did we talk about last week? Was it Joe?
I can't remember. I can't remember yesterday.
He was Alabama defensive coordinator. Is that right? Or
Joe Pendry.
Joe Pendry.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. He's working for, I think, the Birmingham team, right?
So another hire like this is coming out of Alabama, coming from the Alabama football team, college football team. It does add more legitimacy. Like they're going out and they're hiring people that have had careers, and it looks promising.
Yeah, and the thing is with someone like Phil Savage, he is big on He worked in the scouting world before. He was in player personnel, and then he kind of moved up the rankings. So he's good at seeing talent and developing talent, and I think that's kind of what the AAF is going to be, more of a developmental league for the NFL, even though they're not connected per se. But I mean, this is big. It's sad to hear him leave the booth because I enjoyed him when he was on there. He always joked that he would always call the play about 2 seconds before it happened when in the national championship game, I think when right when Tua Tagovailoa threw the ball for a touchdown at the end. I mean, the ball was still in the air, and he was like, touchdown. And so, when you can call something like that, it's pretty good in my opinion. So,
no, I mean, he always seemed like a really genuine guy. I loved his commentary. Him and Eli Gold were entertaining to listen to if I had to listen to an Alabama game. Not my first choice, but I did from time to time. Any news on who's going to take his place with Eli?
They don't know yet. Eli Gold's contract was up at the end of this year, so I guess they renewed, or last year, I guess they renewed it. He's been with the Crimson Tide Sports Network for a while. Tyler Watts usually does backup for Phil Savage, but then there's also talk of John Parker Wilson, who's done some color commentating as well. And then there has been some rumblings of maybe bringing in Barry Krause, who, for all of you football fans out there, if you don't know who Barry Krause is, when Penn State tried to go over the top in 1979, the linebacker from Alabama that stopped him was Barry Krause. He did sideline reporting for Alabama in the early to late 2000s, and then but he also did commentating for the Indianapolis Colts, which is the team that he played for. So there's been talk of maybe him coming back. But right now, I mean, there really hasn't been much news on this, so I think we'll have to wait another couple more weeks. But, I mean, football season's closing in. I mean, we're, 5 weeks away? I think not 5 weeks, maybe a little bit, 5 or 6 weeks away. Yeah, we're close.
God, it always sneaks up on me, but I'm always excited when it gets to this.
I mean, we'll have preseason football games for the NFL in about 3 weeks, so I'm ready for that. So, yeah, that's some sports news for everybody today. On the entertainment side of Birmingham, the Sloss Music and Arts Festival will be happening this weekend. It'll start on Saturday, and it'll run through Sunday. Saturday, their lineup includes, and this is not a full list, but Arcade Fire, Vance Joy, Jason Isbell, and the 400 Unit, and Moon Taxi, which I've never heard of Moon Taxi. Have you heard of them?
I think when I found them on the Sloss lineup, I went and tried to find a song or two, but I can't tell you anything about them. I
love Jason Isbell. I mean, his stuff is really, really good. He used to be with the Drive-By Truckers, and then he put out some solo albums. Won a Grammy for, I think, Best Americana Album for the song Alabama Pines, which is one of my favorites. So that'll be a good lineup on Saturday. On Sunday, Birmingham, favorite act, St. Paul and the Broken Bones will be playing, along with War on Drugs, and basically the headlining act for the whole music and art festival, which is Chris Stapleton, who is excellent.
Well, and he's huge right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's the biggest country music star right now. When you say, or
I think he's crossover too. I think a lot of people who aren't country fans are into Chris Stapleton right now.
He's good. He's real good. I mean, I think there are folks who do not like country music that like him.
My wife is one of those who has really gotten into Chris Stapleton and is not a country music fan.
He's got a kind of a bluesy voice, I would think.
He has done a lot of songs with other artists that aren't country artists, stuff that's kind of outside the genre of country, but that voice of his, man, it's gold.
Well, I'm telling you what, I'm hoping that it won't be as hot this year that it has been in the past years.
I looked it up earlier. It looks like it's going to be about 90 degrees both days.
That's not bad. It's
not bad, but it's still really hot. And then just 60% or so chance of rain both days.
That's what'll cool them off a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember what was the first year? It was like 102.
I don't remember, but
it was hot.
I don't doubt that at all.
But this has grown. They have some really good acts. It's becoming a pretty major music festival and arts festival in the Southeast, and so hopefully it'll keep growing. But stellar acts this year. You can still get tickets. They're available online at slossfest.com/tickets. Finally, and I'm going to let Matthew, or not finally, speaking of Sloss, opening near Sloss, and I'm going to let you take this, Matthew. Back 40 Brewing has opened their satellite brewing.
Right. So we talked about this several weeks back. It may have been months by now. Everything's kind of blurred together at this point. But
that's what happens when you have a child, man.
Really.
Yeah. Back
40 Brewing, it's out of Gadsden, their main location, and they have opened a second location here in Birmingham at Sloss Docks. They have several beers that they brew there on site. They're some of their staples, like their Truck Stop Honey, their Brown Ale, and then they're going to rotate some Birmingham exclusive beers through there. They also have a chef on site to do like some pub fare type food.
Yeah, the food looked good.
It looked really. There's a menu online. I saw a picture floating around. The food looks excellent. I'm really excited about this. The location looks really good. Kind of reminds me of some of the other locations in town. Like it's a mix of
Like an industrial feel.
Yeah, of course. Like
it's
everything in
Birmingham,
Birmingham.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's
that's
like a
true.
mix of Cahaba and Good People. You know, it's smaller than Cahaba, of course, but
That's exactly what I was thinking when I looked at it. Yeah.
it's got some outdoor seating, some indoor seating. Overall, I'm
Ping
really
pong
excited
table.
about this. It's got ping pong table. It's got a cornhole area.
I'm terrible at cornhole.
Really?
Yeah, bad. Just
How-
awful.
You live in Alabama, man. You got to practice.
Hey, look,
That's the
man,
thing to do.
Look, I've practiced. I'm just bad.
I'm not great, but I really do enjoy it. Apparently, it's got some kid-friendly area and some pet-friendly areas, and then it's got the indoor restaurant area.
So we've been talking about getting a new place to record.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, we could do this, right?
Hopefully.
I mean, as long as it doesn't rain.
There'll be some trains that you'd hear in the background. I can deal with the train. This is
That-
Birmingham.
Yeah,
That
would
fits.
that mess up your editing, though?
You know
You don't do
what?
that much editing anymore with our...
We've gotten better about not having a lot of background noise, but there's some of the earlier shows where we had a lot of noise.
Oh,
and
man.
you know, it's just-
Woodfin's interview was loud on the
there at the
background. Right?
Pizzitz. That was
Yeah.
a kind of a nightmare to try and edit. But, overall, I think I wouldn't mind it.
I think we should
We
do
sit
it.
there and drink beer and eat. Like,
The problem is, though, we have jealous wives.
they can come.
Yeah. You
They can sit at a separate table and
you can
throw
br-
stuff at us.
You can bring the babies? Is that
Yeah,
what we're doing?
oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Down. I'm good.
So
So they're
this-
open now, right?
Well, so yeah, I think they did a soft opening on Saturday, last Saturday night, and then their official opening is July the 21st.
I got the grand opening is on July 21st, and this is really good. I mean, and Back 40 beer is good. It's really good.
Really enjoyed Back 40. Back 40's Truck Stop Honey was
Yeah, that's
one
what I
of
will say.
the first beers that I
Ever tried?
Well, not the first one I ever tried, and not one of the first ones I loved, but one of the first like locally brewed type beers that I
Yeah.
ever really found.
And it's good. It's really, really good. And like you said, they're going to have their classic staples, but they're also going to have some Birmingham stuff that's just going to be for Birmingham. And they're brewing on site, right?
Yes, they are.
They're not bringing it. Well, they're going to bring some stuff in.
They'll bring
but-
stuff in, but they've got
Yeah.
brewing tanks on site.
All right, that's great. Well, the final story that we have for you today is DC BLOX will build a 31,000 square foot data center. Now, I'm going to stop talking because I have no idea what this is. Matthew is the, can I say nerd? Geek?
You can say whatever you want, but I mean, come on.
It's not disparaging. It's not disparaging. So anyway, tell us about the DC BLOX and what they plan on doing.
So DC BLOX is not a company that I had heard of before. I had to look them up. I think they're based out of Atlanta. They have several data center locations in the South. They have got one in Huntsville. They've got one in Atlanta. This new one in Birmingham, and then there's some others that I can mention. I'm not looking at their website at the moment. But basically, these data centers are set up for servicing the internet. You're a company, let's just say Red Mountain Express is hosting a website, and we'd have to be much bigger for this to make sense, but and we want to host
We
data
have begun
from
to
that
be
website.
a medium empire.
Right.
Okay.
So we start hosting all of our backlog of our episodes at a data center. They store it on their data center racks, and we have access to it.
So what kind of private companies would it be, like in the mainstream?
Well, think about any of your Birmingham companies, like Shipt could use them.
Okay.
Daxco, any of your financial businesses in the area, credit unions, banks could send data there.
And this is going to be modeled after their Huntsville location, but also they said that it could grow to be more than 200,000 square feet, and it's going to be their flagship location. That's what the story said on AL.com. I didn't go and talk to the person. That's what AL.com said. So, I mean, I assume that that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I would assume so too, and I'm not exactly sure what that entails.
Yeah, what does flagship mean? I mean,
it's going to be their nicest.
Yeah,
their
yeah.
most up to date.
Well, I'd hope so. It's the newest one.
Yeah. So they seem really into this. They came and looked at the site several months back. They toured around, talked to different city officials. They have mentioned in press briefings several times about this being something that they look forward to as a long-standing partnership to benefit them and to benefit Birmingham, to bring more tech sector jobs into the area, to help promote their own brand, of course, among this region. So, I mean, that's exciting. Mayor Woodfin, I think, has been very involved in this. Mayor Woodfin himself is excited because this is going to be in the North Titusville location.
Yeah, and the best part about this, and I'll let you finish in a second, is that they are going to be using an existing site of where an old steel plant was.
Right.
And I think that's really, really important when we recruit businesses that they take over spots that are that were industrial sites that are no longer being used, that are now going to become hopefully high-tech jobs. I mean, that's kind of what you've seen Pittsburgh do, a city that Birmingham was modeled after. You see Pittsburgh is now high-tech and medical, just kind of like what Birmingham hopes to be. So I think that's a positive, a big positive.
Yeah, and since you mentioned that, I don't think you said it earlier, this is going to be at the Trinity Steel site.
Trinity Steel site,
there in North Titusville. Yeah, I think that's close to 6th Street South. 27 acres, like you mentioned earlier. They're looking to invest a possible like $785 million over 10 years. And they're going to try and break ground as soon as next month for phase 1 of the project.
And it's near Golden Flake, right? Is that
I think, looking at the map, I think it's pretty close to Golden Flake. I don't know if it's distribution center or like actual production. They're only looking to hire about 20 people to start, but of course, as the production or continuing of the phases goes on, the building construction gets bigger. I'm sure that'll grow. As you mentioned earlier, they're going to design it similar to the existing Huntsville data center, and it's going to join Atlanta, Huntsville, Chattanooga sites. They have their own internal fiber optic network that they use. Apparently, they've been building this out and buying other people's fiber lines for years. They've got miles and miles and miles of dark fiber.
Are they based out of Atlanta right now?
They're based out of Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay.
The estimated economic impact of the project during construction and the operational phase is estimated to be about $94 million for the Birmingham metropolitan area, about $80 million in Jefferson County, and then they're also looking at about $99 million for the state of Alabama.
That's great.
That's
huge. This is outside coming in. I mean, this is not like we've talked about where fragmentation, where we've seen businesses move from, say, Hoover to downtown Birmingham, or from downtown Birmingham to Homewood. This is a business you're seeing move from outside the city and outside the area into Birmingham. So good news for the city of Birmingham.
Yeah, and as I was trying to mention earlier, and I think I got sidetracked, for North Titusville, this means a lot for them too. They sold the property for $600,000, and according to Woodfin, that $600,000 is going straight into the neighborhood's revitalization fund.
Pave some roads.
I mean, right there. Pave roads, put up street lamps, whatever they need.
Positive stories today, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Except for Phil Savage leaving.
Except for Phil Savage, but he's moving on to something bigger and better for himself.
I don't know. Alabama football to AAF. He was a broadcaster.
He's general manager.
Yeah, okay.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you have it.
Yeah. Well, let's take a break. Hear from our folks at Beach and Woodworks. Why do I keep saying that you hear from folks? You hear from me talking about Beach and Woodworks.
I've never said anything, but every time you say it, I think, that's not.
So let's hear from myself talking about Beach and Woodworks, and we'll be right back. Beach and Woodworks is a locally owned and operated wood shop in Birmingham, Alabama, specializing in custom furniture and small home goods. Chris and Kanan Beecham create a wide variety of unique pieces of all sizes, ranging from cutting boards to farmhouse tables. Using wood sourced from Alabama sawmills, Beecham Woodworks creates affordable, quality pieces that will be a one-of-a-kind fixture for your home. So support your local woodworker and visit redmountainexpress.com/woodworks, or check them out on their Facebook and Instagram accounts. Beecham Woodworks, turning your house into a home. And we're back for the second half of the show, which we've kind of mixed up a little bit. We've started doing the news at the front end so folks on the way to work can listen to their news, and then on the way to the house, they can listen to us cut up on
or choose not to. Admittedly, we in the first half previously, now in the second half, we do talk about non-news items. We talk about more personal stuff.
News you can lose.
We get sidetracked on movies sometimes.
And which Golden Flake chip is your favorite?
Right. So I wanted to, be able to give people the news they want, or the news they come to our show for. Give that to them in the first half, and then they can cut us off after the break.
You are the Spielberg of this operation.
I know that's a compliment, but I also feel like it might be a little bit underhanded coming from you.
What if I say you're the George Lucas and I'm the Spielberg?
Worse. Yeah.
Oh, why? Why is it bad that it's George Lucas? I thought you were Mr. Defender. Buddy of mine were talking about the Last Jedi today, and we just kind of went on a rant, and I thought about you the whole time because I know how much you love that movie. It's on Netflix now. And
It is.
And I skip over it every single time.
Real quick before we move any further, I did want to do this, make a little call to action. If you are one of those people that are still listening at this point past the news, and so we know that you are actual listeners of this show, do us a favor. Right now, we're kind of trying to change things up a little bit for you. We're trying to, advertise that we have a Patreon to you so that we can find some support and pay for the website and pay for equipment. We're trying to give you the news of the first half of the show so you can hear that. And then, if you want to stick around for us being goofy and watch the garbage truck on fire fly past you, we're here for that. The second half.
Garbage truck on fire fly past you.
Do us a favor. You're either listening on your phone or you're listening on your computer. Right quick, just go and get on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, tag us, add us, post on our Facebook wall. Let us know that you listen. We want just to get a general idea. We have analytics off of our hosting websites that kind of show us how many times this show is downloaded, to what kind of devices it's downloaded. I can go on iTunes and see where you're listening and when you're cutting off. Not you personally, but in general. But to get a better idea, just let us know that you listen to us. It doesn't have to be anything special. You don't have to dote on us. Just say, yeah, we listen to your show.
Make us feel special.
Make Blake feel special.
Make me feel
he
special.
needs it.
I need it.
All right. So that's enough of that.
It's just kind of in Birmingham, Birmingham subject. As my wife and I and our daughter went to the McWayne Center. I have never been to the McWayne Center until this last time.
This is your first time?
First time ever.
It's awesome.
It was awesome.
Did you have as much fun as Maggie?
More fun. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. So we went through the normal part where they have all the cool stuff that you can sit on the bed of nails and stuff like that. That was fun. But then we went to, and if this is good if you have young kids, for those who have young children out there 2 and under, or maybe 5 and under, they have the Itty Bitty Magic City, which is just for younger children, and it was really cool. They got a bunch of areas play areas. They have a play veterinarian hospital, a play kitchen, a play home. Then they have this part where there's a bunch of water, which my daughter is basically a fish out of water, so she had a great time doing that. Then they have a little thing for if you have a child that's under 2, it's completely padded, and there's stuff they can play with in there, and it was excellent. And then we went to their small little aquarium area that was really cool too. So I enjoy the McWayne Center. My wife and I are thinking about doing the membership because it's something we will go back to. So yeah, I've never been, but enjoyed it. But also, a movie is coming out soon that I will go see called First Man, about Neil Armstrong.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're going to play it at their movie theater there. So
Is it going to be IMAX?
It'll be an IMAX, so I plan on going and seeing it
I
there.
will say this, and I'm not trying to rain on parades or poop on parties. I went and saw, not Last Jedi, what was the Star Wars movie?
How sad is that? You don't know what it's called.
My brain is so frazzled right now. Help me out here. I know you know.
The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens, thank you. I went
back to sleep when The Last Jedi came on. Anyway, I'm sorry,
I went with my nephew and my brother and saw The Force Awakens at the IMAX theater there. And it may have been my location in the theater. I was kind of near the middle, closer to the top and on the outside edge. And I could not see hardly anything on the screen. My eyes, looking straight up at it, trying to see the whole picture.
So are you just talking about IMAX in particular, or are you just talking about
their IMAX dome?
Oh.
If you go to a...
See, I saw Gravity in IMAX, which was legit
What
awesome.
theater were you at?
We were at the Patton Creek.
Okay, so the IMAX is just like a bigger version of a regular theater screen.
Yeah, I guess so.
With better sound. The IMAX dome is the actual dome they use for their star shows and stuff.
Course, yeah.
So everything is picture this big screen flat, but then now set into a dome shape, and you're trying to look at the whole picture, so you have to crane your neck around a lot more.
So you're not a fan of it?
I would go again to try it, but I was not a fan of watching the Star Wars movie in that setting.
So maybe you watch some of their little documentaries they do or something else, but maybe not a movie.
Yeah, it may depend. The movie may make
what I wasn't comfortable doing, this is quite honest, I wasn't comfortable watching any of the Star Wars movies. Maybe The Force Awakens was okay, but that last one.
So, I haven't been to IMAX this year, but my wife and I went last year, sans kids, just us, and we actually had a lot of fun, just 2 adults going.
What'd y'all see?
No, I mean, not, sorry,
the
McWayne Center, not IMAX, my bad. I said IMAX. And I think they do an adults version of McWayne,
that's what
After Dark.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they serve alcohol. You can go, just a bunch of adults walking around doing all the McWayne Center stuff. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Suds and science, man.
Right?
Yeah. That'd be awesome. You know, I don't know how. There's only so much you could drink and do some science things after a while because you would probably.
If you had been there recently, it probably wouldn't be as much fun. But if you hadn't been there recently and you just want to go and hang out, do the bed of nails after a few drinks.
Well, it was good. We went to the McWayne Center and then we went across the street to the Pizzitz and got some ice cream.
Yeah. Did y'all see the fireworks or go and watch any fireworks this year?
No, man. I mean, we got an 18-month-old, so you know we were I was the old man on the street that after 9 o'clock, like, you know, stop with the fireworks. She's trying to sleep. You know.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
We had fireworks all around our neighborhood on the 4th and the 3rd, and then all the way up to about Sunday night, I was still hearing fireworks.
I'm going to tell you what. You know, after 9 o'clock on the 4th, we're done. We're done, guys. It's time to go to bed. You know, maybe when I was younger, I didn't feel that way, but I do now. Probably because if the child wakes up, I have to go put her back down, and that's just sometimes can be a very, very long process. So I did see pictures of the LED lights on Vulcan, and it is awesome.
I would like to have seen those in person to see how they looked.
But they looked great from the pictures I saw. So I'm hoping that the next time I see them or next time I hear that they're lit up, I'm going to go try and take a look at it. But didn't you say it was the same folks at the Empire State Building?
Patrick said that, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. But no, the McWayne Center was fun. I fully endorse it. Go to it. Go see it. It's a great thing for the city of Birmingham. And it's a great thing for kids, too. I mean, it'll wear your children out, and they will sleep well at night. So, from the father's side of everything. So, that's good.
I did not go to the McWayne Center this week. Instead, I found a slight increase in ants around my property.
What?
Went out to get the garbage the other day. Ants all over the garbage can. Came back in. The next day, my wife yells at me to come in the bathroom, and there's ants like in my bathtub. Apparently, it's just hot enough, and maybe just got dry enough for them to try and start seeking out water in my house. So that's been a fun experience.
You know, it's hot when the ants are seeking water.
I mean, that's what I grew up with. It seemed like every summer we had ants in our house, but I was out in the country, and we had a lot more ants at the time. I don't have as many ants now. However, the ants have led me to discover that I was missing grout in a very large section inside my shower. So that's what I've been doing today is fixing grout.
You regrouted your shower?
Not all of it, just sections where it was like the grout was actually missing completely.
You know, I redid a bathroom. I'm going to tell you what, I'll never do it again.
I would almost rather, and this is
just tear it
completely facetious, but I would almost rather redo it completely than just try and do little individual sections of grout.
I could not imagine someone telling me I have to redo a bathroom. It's just, no. The first time was awful.
Yeah.
But, so are there ants, they gone now?
I sprayed them the other night. I'm sure they're somewhere in the house, under the house, in the walls, but as long as they don't start chewing through wires, I can live peacefully with them.
We have, where I work on Inverness Parkway, we have pine straw everywhere, like in the parking lots. And no matter where I park, ants get in my car. And it's not like that I'm keeping, packets of sugar around everywhere. I mean,
are you sure you don't have an ant bed in your car?
I may actually have an ant bed in my car.
Because that can happen.
Really? An ant bed in your car?
Oh,
no,
absolutely.
I don't. Trust me. I've looked, and it's just like they show up, and it's every now and then, and you'll see one like go, zooming across the dashboard. And I'm just like, son of a... So I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been a good show.
Yeah.
Well, it's not been really good. Patrick's kind of been missing out on us. I mean, he would have been rolling his eyes at my Star Wars comments. Even though he feels the way I do on this. He does. Don't be lying to the folks at home, the millions listening.
It's hard. It's hard because I'm here rolling my eyes and bite my tongue, and that doesn't play well on radio. We need a video section of this.
No, we don't. I have a voice for radio. Let's put it, or a face for radio.
Face for it.
Face for radio.
I agree.
And a voice for radio, too. Yeah. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Red Mountain Express. Thank you for listening to our news portion and the news you can lose at the very end, where we just ramble on like monkeys in a tree. Remember, you can go online to redmountainexpress.com or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and as I'm talking right now, Matthew's pointing his finger up the air, which means he has to say something.
I wanted to mention, we had a request from a user on Reddit to our account to put our show on Stitcher. I have done that. So if you are a Stitcher user, our show is now on Stitcher for your enjoyment there. Go subscribe and listen.
What is Stitcher?
It's another podcast service.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Did that cost us any money?
No.
I'm just, just making sure here.
Nah.
Like I said, you can find us on redmountainexpress.com, Instagram, Facebook. We still have a Twitter, I think. But also, you can leave us a message. Let us know how you're liking the show and also how you like the new format. So we'll see you again next week. Hopefully, we can do this from Back 40 next week, right? Maybe.
We can try.
We can try, yeah. And maybe Patrick Tucker will be back.
Oh, wait. We have done this whole show, and we haven't mentioned the one important thing that we are doing right now. We are recording on Tuesday night.
Oh, God, yes.
How have we gone the whole show? Yeah, I know you're trying to end this thing, but
no, it's okay.
But we've gone this whole show. Not only do we have a new format that we've done for the last couple of weeks, we are recording on a different night.
Yeah, Sundays are really tough for all of us.
Yeah, Sundays are busy.
They're busy. Yeah, really busy.
So we're gonna try and consistently record on Tuesday nights for y'all. I'm gonna try and have these things out. I'm shooting for Thursday mornings, Thursday mid afternoons. That way we have them out. You can listen to it on the way home Thursday, on the way into work Friday. Whatever have you.
Start your weekend, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you feeling about the new day?
I like it. It gives us a little bit more time to get some of the news from our first part of the week, that Monday news, the Tuesday news, and then we can get it to you by Thursday, and it's a little bit fresher than it has been if we go the whole week and then give it to you the next Monday.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so be looking out for our new episodes on hopefully Thursday morning. Is that right?
Thursday morning, mid-afternoon. Thursday before you leave work.
Thursdays, ladies and gentlemen. All right, for Matthew Joyner, I'm Blake Westbrook. We'll see you next week.